All right, we are back at Team Hibagon Central Headquarters. Not the penthouse. We're in the executive suite. And this is the penultimate Megalith discovery for now. Debriefing. Well, everything went wonderfully. I'm satisfied. This is an ancient Rishun, ancient New Year's Day stone. Next year I'll try to go on the actual New Year's Day. It falls on a Thursday, and I think I can do it, because the brightness and color were less on the Sunday than on the Saturday, and I think this machine is calibrated to finer than 1 degree. Sounds unbelievable even to me, but yeah, that's what I think. Next year, too, I want to get some rocks of the same kind and smash them open and put that original white rock on and around our gray lady here, and that will give us a real good idea of how she looked in her prime. I want to sniff around the base, get my nose right down in there. I think she might be sitting in a dugout, specially fitted socket that lets her weeble and wobble but not fall down because of earthquakes and typhoons. And of course, I welcome your ideas, and I'll try your tests if they're not destructive. I told my friend Yukimitsu, he's a funny guy, about our results, and he perked right up and he said he had something for me. So he ran home, and then he ran back with an herbicide sprayer. It's his old one. He said I could have it. I took it, but I told him I'd have to think pretty hard about using it. The tree is not a huge problem to me. It shades only half the rock, and I think we can live with that. We can live with the tree, and the tree can live. I think we can all coexist. If the tree were threatening the rock, yeah, I would kill it. So we'll keep our eyes on that rock and visit her from time to time, and I'm going to look into that sculpted cliff more. I really think I may have found that lost 1,300-year-old castle. One of them. It turns out there are 2 lost castles around here from that same time period. So there's more adventure. And we have so many wonderful mysteries and adventures. Oh, there's not enough time. And I have so many books already in their first draft. I'm going to try to put out 2 new books this year. There's my personal challenge to myself. Now, you hold me to it, please. But as I said, this little side trip is almost finished. There's one more video, I think. I'd like to just say special thanks to the engineer clerk and his son, his plucky son. What a great boy. The wife clerk, and extra super duper special thanks to my climbing partner on Monday. Good morning. We're at the Ichigo Yochien, the strawberry kindergarten, and I'm feeling deja vu. Yeah, we're going to climb it again. We're going to do it again. Do it live. 3rd straight day in a row because somebody felt left out.
Yay!
Yay. Yay, indeed. I'll follow you. You're the leader. Look at you go.
Yay! Thank you, God.
Thank you, God. Yeah, that's the attitude. We're having all the fun, aren't we? Okay, up you go there. I'm going to wait here until you're safely up, okay? Okay, I'm coming now. Right. And there we are. Yeah, stand beside it. There you are. Give us a wave. Hi. Get away from the edge, please. Mailbag time. Dr. John asks how much native interest there is in megaliths. Well, I'm sorry, there's not a lot, John. There's the odd lone kook on the internet, and that's really about it. It's sad. Here at the base of Mount Zhao, we found a farmer with a megalith graveyard. Oh, yeah. Now, some of these aren't old. You can see marks from modern excavation equipment, but yeah, some of these are real old. And Dr. John, you probably don't need me to tell you how I feel about this. On our last trip up to Ashitakeyama and Demon Scream Mountain, we found this house built right on top of a megalithic Kofun tomb. This is maybe a little bit different. I think we have here people who truly revere their ancestors in their own way and actually worship them. Which I don't like. But they want to live on this mountainside where their people have always lived. And I respect that. And there's not a lot of space on this mountainside. And life goes on. And we have to live and make a living. And the living can't serve the dead and tiptoe around them. And the dead, if they love us, they wouldn't want that. They would want us to move on and live our own lives. Well, there's my half-hearted attempt to understand this situation. Personally, I wouldn't build my house on top of an ancient megalithic tomb. Down the road from here, Dr. John, we saw a cemetery built right on top of another megalithic tomb. Please remember, everybody, please remember these examples as precedents, because they're kind of, I don't know about you, I wouldn't just think that this would happen, but we can see it. And please remember it whenever we revisit this cliff. I'll remind you, but you too, please try to remember. Dr. John's supplementary, he asks how one actually joins Team Hibagon. Dr. John, that's an excellent question, and I'm sure you're not the only one who has wondered it. Team Hibagon is an opt-out institution. In other words, everyone who is here and is interested and friendly and polite and constructive and not a big old prickly ding-dong is automatically enrolled and in good standing. Now, we don't have a printing office yet, or a printer clerk, or a printing budget. I mean, look at us. So for now, you have to handwrite out your own temporary membership card. We're going to look into an official version with a certificate, but I can't offer that now. 3 of last year's donors who donated to our November Mount Hiba trip are still waiting for their calligraphy. And Japan Post, I love Japan Post, but they are still not doing their job. They're not accepting airmail to these donors' countries, United States and Australia. Now, maybe I should have just sent their calligraphy by surface mail by sea, which normally takes 2 or 3 months, but Japan Post tells me that now takes 6 months. But Japan Post also told me that this interruption in air mail service was temporary, and they're still telling me that. Mary C., charter member of Team Hibagon, got unsubscribed by my friend Susan. Now poor Mary has a ton of work catching up on missed videos. Susan, I want you to tell Mary that you're sorry and you will not do that again. And Mary and everyone, just watch out around Susan. Kaylee says, I love Photoshop. Kaylee, I envy you. I'd love to have Photoshop. It's a little too expensive for me. I tried the clone freeware called GIMP, but maybe it's just my computer, but it's kind of big and fat and heavy. Makes my computer all sluggish and gimpy. I use paint.net, and I like it. I recommend it if you don't need anything too fancy. Now, Kaylee, if you do love Photoshop so much, you must be pretty good at it. Please email me and tell me if you see any evidence of fabrication or manipulation, and crucially, tell me how it was done. What were the techniques? Demonstrate it, Kaylee. Back up your words. Dr. John, Kaylee here is a good example. She helps to answer your question. She is very welcome to join Team Hibagon. Kaylee, you're welcome. But I think, reading between the lines, she is opting out. And reading between the space that she made in Photoshop and her disregard for capitalization, well, I think we can infer that she is somewhat prone to sloppiness and laziness. And Kaylee, I am too. Yes, I am. Okay, honey? I think many of us are prone to be sloppy and lazy, and we just, all of us, you and me, we just have to work on it. And we might deduce that Kaylee is less familiar with Photoshop than she lets on. Commercial artist clerk weighs in. I saw her last week and asked her to look at those photos again in light of recent accusations from Kaylee and her friends. Now, commercial artist clerk really knows Photoshop. Really. She works with it all day, every day. It's her job. And not only that, it's her art and passion. And she can spell it. So she tested the photos herself and put them through a forensic image analysis software. And she cannot find any evidence of Photoshop or other fabrication or manipulation. So Kaylee and your friends who are sitting at that same table in the back of the classroom, the too cool for school kids, the rebels without a cause, that's Kaylee, Miguel, Robert James, MB, person calling yourself Ted Bundy's ghost. You still need to make a case, okay? You can't just fling around the word Photoshop, or even two words, photo and shop, the way monkeys fling around their feces at the zoo, or throw sticks and stones. You're better than that. And you can do better than that. Special homework assignment for this table. Put your noggins together and come up with one example. Just one, where you see photoshopping and which techniques were used. Come up with more, but at least come up with one. And email me, and I will read your letter word for word to everyone, and we'll check it out. Listen, take some honest, friendly advice from an old man, an old varmint hunter. Kaylee, it's just been my observation over the decades that the crabby, jaded, cynical, snarky, scornful, mocking types of people, they are not happy people. They don't live happy lives. Because that mindset, and it is a mindset that you can change. And we can all fall into it. And we can all climb out of it. Sometimes I wake up in that mindset. And I have to slap it out of me and get my mind right. Because that mindset is set up to fail. It's self-sabotage. And it's not what we're here for, to mope around like that in probably low self-esteem. We all have to pick ourselves up and wash our faces with cold water and look around for good work to do. Something always needs doing, and someone always needs help. If Team Hibagon isn't for you, and that's fine, it's not your thing, you don't be an old crabapple. You go cheer someone up. Go find a lonely old lady in your neighborhood and go visit her. Introduce yourself and bring her some cookies and tea. And maybe she'll invite you in and you'll have cookies and tea. Or go without asking and without telling her, just go shovel her driveway. Shovel her snow. You're going to brighten up her day, both hers and yours. And you'll feel better about yourself. I guarantee that. I guarantee that more than I can guarantee these photos. Okay? That's the truth. Go with God, Kaylee. Okay, coming up next, we can take the Hibagon into the 1980s, dress him in an Ocean Pacific t-shirt, and strap some Varney sunglasses around his neck, and drench him with Polo cologne. That was my 80s experience. Or we can jog up to that lost but maybe found 1,300-year-old castle. I'll let you vote below. Or, if you want to watch my daughter climb that whole mountain, you can vote for that too. My wife might not like it, and I might have to take the video down, but we'll make that one option too. Okay, everyone have a terrific weekend. You too, you cool kids, and do your homework. No excuses. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.